Andrei was a successful young entrepreneur. At the age of 35, he already had everything most people dream of: a luxurious house, sports cars lined up in his garage, and a bank account with a fantastic amount of money. Everyone who saw his life would say he's a very lucky man. But behind the smile and his charming appearance, Andrei kept something that no one else knew. His heart was empty. Every night after the party ended and the music faded, he sat alone on the balcony of his luxurious apartment, staring at the glittering city lights. Yet, in the midst of all that, his heart always asked, "What am I living for? Is it just to collect money, have fun, and then die? What happens after death? Is there a heaven or hell, or does everything just end?" That question made him restless. He tried to find answers through his family's religion. He went back to reading the Holy Book, attended church, and even consulted with religious leaders. But he always came home with a head full of questions. There were many things he couldn't understand about the concept of God, about sin, about life after death. Why is God so complicated? His heart often asked. Days passed. Andrei drowned deeper into busyness and entertainment to forget his anxiety. But that loneliness only grew stronger, till one night an event changed his life. That night, Andrei was returning from a friend's birthday party. Streets were quiet, the city lights shimmering in the distance. He was driving his sports car at high speed. Loud music pounded in his ears, but his mind was empty. In a split second, his car skidded on the wet road. Crash. The car hit the road barrier. The airbag deployed, the windshield cracked. Andrei survived, with only a small wound on his hand. He stepped out of the car, breathing heavily. The night wind swept across his face. In front of him, his beloved sports car was wrecked. He stood frozen. If he had been driving a little faster, his life might have ended. Andrei looked at the dark night sky and whispered softly, "If I had died just now, where would I have gone?" That question stuck in his mind for weeks. His nights were now filled with reflection. He felt like his life had no direction. A few months later, Andrei had a business trip to the United Arab Emirates. That Muslim-majority country was foreign to him, but he felt calm from the moment he set foot there. He stayed in a luxurious hotel, right next to a grand mosque. On his first day there, he woke up to the sound of the dawn azan call to prayer, a sound so unfamiliar yet soothing. Its melody was soft, but it touched the heart, as if the voice was calling, "Rise, remember your Lord." Day after day, he always looked forward to that sound. Every time the azan was called, he stood on the balcony, watching people walk to the mosque. Their faces looked peaceful, their steps light. In his heart, Andrei asked, "What do they have that makes them look so calm?" That curiosity led him to seek answers. That night, he opened his phone and started reading about Islam. At first, it was just out of curiosity. He read articles, watched videos, and found a translation of the Quran. He read one verse, then another. The more he read, the more his heart trembled. The concept of Tawheed in Islam, that there is only one God, with no partners, no intermediaries, felt so logical to him. Not complicated, not confusing. He found the answers he had been searching for all along. The purpose of life, death, life after death. One verse that struck his heart deeply was Surah Al-Ikhlas, say, "He is Allah, the one and only, Allah, the eternal, absolute. He neither begets nor is born, and there is none like unto him." Tears fell from his eyes, closed his phone, and lowered his head. For the first time, he felt close to God. That night, he whispered softly, "God, if this is the truth, show me the way." The next day, Andrei gathered the courage to go to the mosque. His steps trembled, his breath was heavy, but his heart was firm. The imam of the mosque greeted him warmly. With a trembling voice, Andrei said, "I want to embrace Islam." The imam looked at him with emotion, then invited him to recite the Shahada. Ashhadu an Allah ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Those words came from his lips as tears flowed down his cheeks. At that moment, Andrei felt all the burdens of his life lifted. For the first time, he felt true peace. His life completely changed. He started learning to pray, reading the Quran, and leaving his bad habits. Not everything went smoothly. When his family found out, they were angry. Some friends stayed away, but Andrei said in his heart, It's better for me to lose the world than to lose this guidance. Now, Andrei lives a simple life, actively helping others and spreading goodness. Every prostration is filled with tears of gratitude. He knows that guidance is the greatest gift Allah has given him. The days that followed became a turning point for David's life. He began reading more about Islam. Every time he delved into the verses of the Quran, his heart trembled. There was one verse that made him cry for a long time in his room, a verse that said, "And we have not sent you, O Muhammad, except as a mercy to the worlds." QSLNBA 217. Those words felt like a warm embrace, erasing the old wounds he carried. David began visiting the mosque regularly. First, he only sat in a corner, watching from a distance. But slowly, he gathered the courage to speak to the congregation. One of them was an elderly man named Ahmad, who welcomed him with a sincere smile. Ahmad never judged him, only listened to David's story patiently. He said, "Guidance is a gift, David. It comes at the right time when our hearts are ready." Every night, David prayed in his own way. Even though he had not officially embraced Islam, he asked for guidance, asking for strength to walk the path of truth. However, doubts remained. Is this really the path for me? What about my family? What if they reject me? Those questions haunted his mind. One day, as the sun was setting, David decided to walk to the edge of the lake, where he used to calm himself. The sky was golden orange, and the wind blew gently. There he stared at the horizon and whispered softly, "God, if this is your path, show me a sign, give me peace." At that moment, his chest felt light. For the first time in his life, he felt truly at peace. The next day, David returned to the mosque. He met Ahmed with teary eyes. "I've made my decision," he said, in a trembling voice. Ahmad looked at him with emotion. That day, in front of several witnesses, David recited the 2 testimonies of faith. Tears streamed down his face, not from sadness, but from a happiness that words could never express. After officially becoming a Muslim, David's journey was not immediately easy. He had to face many challenges, especially from his family who didn't understand his decision. However, he never felt alone again. He felt Allah's presence in every step he took. Every prayer he uttered brought new strength, and every prostration became a place for him to surrender all of life's burdens. David had now not only found faith, but also a purpose in life. He began actively engaging in dawah activities, helping people who were searching for the way, just like he once did. He knew that guidance is a light that must be preserved and shared. Taught in his heart, he always expressed gratitude, because Allah had chosen him from darkness into light.